See, there is a meaning each and every aspect of this world. Whether it is mundane, physical, or supra-physical, or human, or divine. There is a purpose in each and every act. Sri Aurobindo says these absolute truths. There is a plan in the mother's deep world hymn. A purpose in her vast and random game. For us it is random or accident, but there is a purpose. A purpose in her vast and random game. This ever she meant since the first dawn of life. This constant will she covered with her sport. To evoke a person in the impersonal void. With the truth light, strike earth's massive roots of trance. Wake a dumb self in the inconscient depths. And raise a lost power from its python sleep. The ties of the timeless might look out from time. And the world manifested, unveiled divine. See, mother, who is the mother? Who is the Lord? All the forces that is being executed is by the mother. In the mother small book, Sri Aurobindo says, she is the consciousness force of the Supreme. All the work that is being done is by the mother, Mahashakti. The Lord sanctions all her works. Without his sanction, nothing can move. She will not be able to manifest. So all these activities in the world use us in feminine language. He, she. So your mind will suddenly say, who is she? Who is he? No, mind doesn't come here. Go on absorbing these vibrations of Savitri. Then we'll be spontaneously elevated. Don't try to understand. Nothing could be understood here. It's all beyond the mental level. Try to hear the vibrations and rasa of Savitri. You will be spontaneously elevated. We are not asking you to do any Herculean task. Just hear. That's enough. With a calm mind. Then Lord will take you. Mother will take you up. That is the beauty of Savitri. No mental logic here. Don't try to understand at all. Be a passive hearer. For this, he left his wide infinity and laid on the spirit the burden of the flesh, that Godhead seed might flower in mindless space. It is a mindless space, as though it is a mechanical thing, no mind what is working. But he has a purpose in this. He put the Godhead seed, the mother's force, through a small pocket of spark within your own heart, the soul. Try to live more and more in your soul, more and more in your heart than your mind. Then things automatically start fitting in. Mind will go to the background. It comes only when it is needed. Then the spontaneity comes. Then mothers try to help you, provided you make the start. Then Lord gives a great truth. I don't think any Indians here, so far, they are able to experience certain things, but the Lord put it very succinctly in all his compositions. He has given the importance of soul as the whole guide of this sadhana. And Lord gives so much of importance to the existence and the part of the soul within the man. It is a representative of the divine put into every heart. A spark from the divine. Somewhere during your lifetime, you should get this spark from the soul. You should take a leverage and feel this soul. Mother has told very clearly, it is a very strong statement. If he dies before the soul opens out, it is a tragedy. Far into the ignorant nature's gusty field, into the half-ordered covers of mortal life, the formless power, these powers and forces are not seen to the naked eye. This formless power, the self of eternal light, follow the shadow of the Spirit's descent. Descent is taking place. The twin duality forever one chooses its home with tumults of sense. He is not coming or descend with a blow of drums. He comes unseen, silently. He comes unseen into our darker parts and curtained by the darkness does his work. A subtle and all-knowing guest and guide, till they too feel the need and will to change. They should need the feel to change. Till then he works. That is the mandate given to the mother. In spite of our failures, goes on. Only the human gave matter, not the divine. He comes unseen into our darker parts and curtained by the darkness does his work. The darkness itself does the work. Somewhere he says, silence itself is the well of the night, where the Lord sits. He comes unseen into our darker parts and curtained by the darkness does his work. A subtle and all-knowing guest and guide, till they too feel the need and will to change. All here must learn to obey a higher law. Our body cells must hold the immortal flame. Else would the spirit reach alone its source, leaving a half-saved world to its dubious fate. Nature would ever labor unredeemed. Our earth would ever spin unhelped in space. And this immense creation's purpose failed, till at last the prostrate universe sank undone. Will to change. This transfiguration has to take place. Otherwise, the world is undone. What is the mandate given to the man is left unfulfilled. Even his godlike strength to rise must fall. You see, nothing is a miracle here. It is not a one-pointed, aspiration is one-pointed, no doubt. But your ascension is not one-pointed. Goes, comes back again. Again goes to a higher peak, comes back. Again goes to a still higher peak and comes back. While coming back, you transmute all your lower members. Again you rise up to a higher peak than you have achieved the previous peak. Comes back. Lord has gives very succinctly these steps in sadhana. Whoever takes sadhana seriously, all the other forces start coming in. They pull him down, gravitational force. Maybe worldly events, physical events, anything can take place. But it is really serious, unperturbed. Single pointed aspiration will be there. Rise up again. Then again comes down, this hostile force will be weaker. Again he comes up. So this system, this process, Lord explains very beautifully in this passage. Even his godlike strength to rise must fall. His greater consciousness withdrew behind. Dim, eclipsed, his human outside strove to feel again the old sublimities. Bring the high saving touch, the ethereal flame. Call back to its dire need the divine force. Always the power poured back like sudden rain, or slowly in his breast a presence grew. It clambered back to some remembered height, or soared above the peak from which it fell. Each time he rose, there was a larger poise, a dwelling on a higher spirit plane. That light remained in him a longer space. When he climbs higher, the light also remains for a longer time. Each time he rose, there was a larger poise, a dwelling on a higher spirit plane. The light remained in him a longer space. In this oscillation between earth and heaven, in this ineffable communion's climb, there grew in him as grows a waxing moon, the glory of the integer of his soul. Then he brings the importance of the soul. What happens? The glory of the integer of his soul. soul becomes stronger. It tries to become predominant. A union of the real with the unique. A gaze of the alone from every face. The presence of the eternal in the hours. Widening the mortal mind's half look in things. Bridging the gap between man's force and fate. Made whole the fragment being we are here. At last was won a firm spiritual poise. When the Lord was in solitary prison in the Alipur jail, when he got such enlightenment, he saw Vasudeva. Vasudeva in the criminal. Vasudeva in the judge who was trying his case. Vasudeva in the tree. After nearly 35 years, he wrote this. Before he came to Pondicherry, the Lord had these experiences. Divine. Don't compare with the human beings. Then what happens? What is the result? How the man behaves? These 3 lines, a beautiful quotation. A poised serenity of tranquil strength, a wide unshaken look on time's unrest, faced all experience with unaltered peace. I'll repeat. A poised serenity of tranquil strength, a wide unshaken look on time's unrest, faced all experience with unaltered peace. This is the divine quality. He will not be shaken, whatever happens. You have that poise within you, that peace, external as well as internal peace. Be able to face all the experiences. As the result of your frequent oscillations and other things, it becomes stronger. Soul takes over. Then the universe was not now this senseless whole, borne round inert on an immense machine. No mechanical force here when you understand these things. It cast away its grandiose, lifeless font, a mechanism no more of work of chance, but a living moment of the body of God. Then Lord explains the transformation of your thought, life and body, mind, and then Rajasic and the Annamaya Purusha. What is their experience? How do they behave? And Savitri throws a beautiful light on these things. Then he gives the soul stuff, but the soul, importance of soul on these parts. All there was soul are made of sheer soul stuff. The sky of soul covered a deep soul ground. Whole sky was soul. Covered a deep soul ground. Ground was soul. All here was known by a spiritual sense. Thought was not there. Now it takes about the thought, first mind it. Thought was not there, but a knowledge near and one. Seized on all things by a mood identity, a sympathy of self with other selves, the touch of consciousness on consciousness, and beings look on being with inmost gaze, and heart laid bare to heart without walls of speech, and the unanimity of seeing minds, in myriad forms, luminous with one God. That is what is called as unanimity. One God. No dichotomy. No disharmony. How beautifully he tells. Thought is needed not. Why do you need thought? Thought was not there, but a knowledge near and one. Next he takes the life. Life was not there, but an impassioned force. What you call ordinary life, rajas, no, impassioned force. Life was not there, but an impassioned force. Finer than fineness, deeper than the deeps. That is how the divine absoluteness works. Finer than fineness, deeper than the deeps, felt as a subtle and spiritual power. A querying out from soul to answering soul. A mystic moment, a close influence. A free and happy intense approach of being to being with no screen or check, without which life and love could never have been. They are the basic standards of love. Without that you cannot live. These are the basic truth. A free and happy and intense approach of being to being with no screen or check. I see you, I become you. You see me, you become me. Without which life and love could never have been. This life and love of a very high order. Divine life, divine life. Divya Jivana. Next he comes to the body. Body was not there. For bodies were needed not. The soul itself was its own deathless form. The soul itself was its own deathless form, and met at once the touch of other souls. Close, blissful, concrete, wonderfully true. This is soul force, soul language, soul lights. Sri Aurobindo is opening the complete package to you.